Hello friends, today we will be doing grade 4 or primary 4 AMO paper, which is American Maths Olympiad paper. It's a mock test paper set 1. It's generally for 1.5 hour. It's 1 hour 30 minutes and there are 25 questions. So let's begin. Question 1. 4 kids can paint 4 balls in 4 minutes. If everyone works at the same speed, how many kids can paint 12 balls in 12 minutes? So basically what it means is 4 kids can paint 4 balls in 4 minutes. So one kid can paint one ball in 4 minutes. Correct? You have 12 minutes. So one kid, one ball, 4 minutes. So one kid can paint how many balls in 12 minutes? This is into 3. So this will be into 3. So he can paint 3 balls in 12 minutes and we need to paint 12 balls. So you do into 4. So 12 balls and you do into 4. So you need 4 kids to paint 12 balls in 12 minutes. So the answer is option A, which is 4. Let's move to the second question. Find the value of this. Now, this is a distributive property question. What do I mean by that? See, you can see 25 is common. You take 25 common into, you have 48. What is left after you take out 25? And then here 32 and here 20. So this is 52 plus 48, which is 100. So 25 into 100, which is 2500, which is option C. Okay, let's move on to question 3. How many natural numbers from 1 to 100 are not divisible by 5 or 10? Now, it's asking for natural numbers. What are natural numbers? Natural numbers are numbers starting from 1, 2, 3, and so on. Basically, all positive numbers and does not include a 0. If it includes a 0, then they are called as whole numbers. So, whole numbers will start from 0, 1, 2, and so on. Right now, they're talking about natural numbers, and otherwise, also they have defined from 1 to 100 that are not divisible. So, instead of counting like numbers 1, 2 are not divisible, we find numbers which are divisible by 5 or 7. So numbers which are divisible by 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So it will go all the way till 100. So basically, if you say divide 100 by 5, you get 20. So there are 20 numbers. Similarly, numbers divisible by 7. So you start with 7, 14, 21. Now, what is the last number less than 100 which is divisible by 7? That will be 98. So you go all the way till 98. So basically 98 divided by 7 will be 14. So you have 14 numbers here. So you add it up. So there are 34 numbers. Okay. But you can't just do, there are 100 numbers minus 34. That is not the answer here. What I need to do is, now there are certain numbers which are counted twice. Like 35 has already been, like 35 has been counted twice, and similarly 70 has been counted twice. It's been counted here as well and it's counted here as well. So I need to subtract 2 from here. So I get 32 numbers are numbers from 1 to 100 which are divisible by 5 or 7. So I'll do 100 minus 32. So I'll get 68. So my answer for question number 3 would be 68. Right? Let's clear this out. You can pause this video and check your answers. Let's move on. The following 3 by 3 grid is filled with numbers from 1 to 9. The numbers in all sides add up to 15 horizontally and vertically. Find the value of the star. Now, whenever they say numbers 1 to 9 means these are the digits or numbers, and there are 9 squares. So that means repetition of digits are not allowed. So let's just try to fill it in. They're saying all the rows and columns add up to 15. Now 9 plus 2, let's me take a different color. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 plus 4 is 15. 8 plus 3, 4 plus 3 is 7. So this will be an 8. Right. Now, how do I proceed from here? Now, so what all numbers are taken? 9 is taken, 4 is taken, 3 is taken, 2 is taken, and 8 is also taken. Now you're left with 5, 6, 7. So suppose if I put a 7 here, then this will become 15 and I'll have to put a 0. So I can't do that because I don't have 0 available with me. So I can't place these. So instead, what I can place is I have a 6 and a 1. So I'll place 6 and a 1. Or else, even if you try, see, you can't place a 7 here, you can't place a 7 here. Similarly, you can't place a 7 here because 9 plus 7 is 16. So you need a 15. So you can't place 7 here. So the only place that you can place a 7 is here. Okay, so this is 7. So my answer is 7. But still, if you want to fill this up, so this is 9, and then 9 plus 6 is 15, or 9 plus 6 is 15. 8 plus 6 is 14, 1, and 10, and 5. So this is how you're going to fit in the numbers. So the value of the asterisk here will be a 7, which is option D. Let's move on. Question number 5. Find the sum of digits a plus b plus c if different letters stand for different digits. Now you have 8 and 8 and you have BCC. So suppose, so you have 8 and 8, which will give you a 64 and 6 carry, and you have an A, and so C is already a 4. Now 6 plus something is resulting into a 4. So basically it has to be an 18 or something which ends with an 8. So suppose if I take this as 1, so this becomes 14 and 1 carry forward. And then you'll have 1. But 1 and 1 are different digits, like A and B cannot be 1. So you have to take this to be a 6. So 8 6 are 48, plus 6 is 54, 5 carry. So B becomes 5. So this is actually 68 times 8, which is 544. So A is 6, B is 5, and C is 4. So the sum of the digits is 15, which is option A. I hope you get this. Let's move on to question 6. What is the largest 3-digit number which is divisible by 24? So basically, the largest 3-digit number is 999. We divide it by 24. So what do we get here? So we do say 24 into 4, 16, 1 carry. So you get a 96. I get a 39. So ones are 24. So you get a 15, correct? So what does that mean? That if you subtract 15 from 199, you get this number. So 984 is the largest 3-digit number, which is divisible by 24, which is option D. Okay, then let's move on to question 7. The following picture shows a 4 by 4 square. How many squares of any size are there comprised of one marked X? So you need to have how many squares can we make with X? So this is 1. Then let me use a different pen. So this is 2. Then you can do this 3. Then you can do this 4. Then you can do this 5. Then we can make a 3 by 3 square. So this is 6. Then this is 7. This is 8. This is 9. And the whole of it, which is 10. So the answer for question 7 is 10, which is option D. Then we go to question number 8. Find the value of A5B minus this. So basically what it means is A5B is a number minus this number is getting 299. So what I can do is, can I do it this way that 299, I take this here, plus C9 will give me A5B. You can do it with subtraction, but addition is much faster and better to do. So you do 9 plus 9 is 8, which is 18, and 1 carry forward. So 9 plus 1 is 10. So this has to be a 5. So I get a 15, 1 carry. This becomes 3. Correct? So you get, so the thing is 299 plus 59 is 358. Now the question is, what is the value of A5B, which is 358 plus 59? So you get 417. So the answer is option B. Okay, then let's move on. Question number 10. Sarah and Rose have few pencils. 2/5 of Sarah pencils and 8/9 of Rose pencils are both 40. Who has more pencils and by how much? So basically, Sarah, 2/5. So basically, one whole is divided into 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2/5 is 40. So if 2/5 is 40, that means 40 divided by 2 is 20. So each box is 20. So Sarah has how much? 20 into 5, 100 pencils, correct? Then Rose, 8/9 of Rose pencils. So one whole is divided into how many parts? 9 parts. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 8/9. So 8/9 means 8 parts, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 parts are 40, so you divide it by 8. So that means each part is 5, and there are how many parts? 9 parts. So basically Rose has a total of 45 pencils. So now Sarah has 100 and Rose has 45. Who has more pencils? So Sarah has more pencils by how much? 100 minus 45 is 55. So the answer is option E. Let's move on. Question number 10. There are 5 green, 9 orange, 6 red, and 4 blue candies in a bag. At least how many candies must Sam take to ensure he gets the first red candy? Whenever we're doing these questions, we have to take the first case scenario. Like, Sam took out some candy. So suppose he's taking candies one by one. So when he's taking it out, he got all the 5 green candies. Then he got all the 6 red, not red, because we have to find red. So say 9 orange candies and 4 blue candies. So this adds up to 18. So worst case situation is taking out candies after candies and he's not got a red candy yet. But now he's exhausted all the options. So when he does it 19th time, you are 100% certain that you will get a red candy. So my answer is 19. They are saying at least, how many candies must Sam take? You could also get the red candy the first time, but we're not saying we're taking the worst case situation. And hence, in the 19th time, you can be 100% certain that you will get a red candy. So the answer is A. Question number 11. The following 4x4 cube is to be painted red on all faces. Find the number of smaller cubes with at most 2 faces painted. At most means it could be 0, 1, and 2. At most means a maximum of 2 faces painted. Now this is a 4x4x4 cube, which is how many cubes are there total? There are 64 cubes. And we have to find how many of these cubes have at least 0, 1, or 2 faces painted. Now, there are 2 ways to do it. Either you count every single cube like layer by layer. Like for example, you go layer by layer, the top layer, only the corners will be painted on 3 sides. Okay, so rest all will be painted on 2 sides or 1 side. Like this is painted on 2 sides, this is painted on 1 side. right? And there'll be a cube just below that that will be painted on 0 sides because it's right inside. So instead of doing this, the best way to do it is, we know that all these corners are painted on 3 sides. So how many cubes are those? Those are 8 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 below. So you just subtract it, you'll get 56. So 56 are the cubes that are painted on 0, 1, 2 sides. Basically, all these cubes would be painted on 0, 1, 2, or 3 sides. So if instead of counting for 0, 1, and 2, what we do is we count for the cubes that are painted on 3 faces and we subtract it and we can find our answer. So the answer is 56, which is option E. Question number 12. The combined age of Ram and Sham 5 years from now will be 37. So Ram and Sham 5 years, uh, uh, you know, 5 years from now will be 37. So the current sum of ages will be, this is -5 and -5, which is -10. So the current sum of ages is 27. Now, Ram was twice as old as Sham 3 years ago. So again, what will be the sum of ages 3 years ago? So you'll do -3, which is -6. So you get 21. So 3 years ago, Ram was twice as old as Sham. So if Sham was 1, Ram was 2. And the sum of the ages is 21. So you divide 21 by 3 because I have 3 boxes. So that means Sham was 7 and Ram was 14. 3 years ago, Ram was 14 and Sham was 7, which adds up to 21. So they are saying what is the current age? So you add 3. So current age of Ram is 17 and current age of Sham is 10, which adds up to 27. Then they can ask you any information. You should be able to do it from this. So the current age of Ram is 17, which is option D. Let's move on. Question number 13. Two regular six-sided dice were thrown on the ground. All the numbers visible on the dice were added. The sum of the numbers on all the visible faces was 31. What is the difference between the numbers facing the ground? Now, if you're talking about regular dice, the fact is the opposite faces of a regular dice always will add up to 7. That's one information. They'll always add up to 7. That's one information that we need to know. Now, what is the sum of faces in a regular dice? Okay, you have these numbers, correct? So it is 6 plus 4, 10. So it's 21. And then there are 2 dices, so you multiply by 2, correct? So now it's 50, it's 42. The sum of the uh, uh, dots or the sum of the numbers on all the faces of a cube add up to 42. Now, what is visible to us is 31. So what is not visible to us is 11. Now, the numbers which are facing the ground, they add up to 11. So what numbers will add up to 11 from these? There are only 2 numbers, which is 6 plus 5 will add up to 11. So what is their difference? The difference will be 1. So my answer will be B. So answer for question 13 will be B. Let's move on. Question number 14. Ross and Banda each thought of a 2-digit number. The product of the digits was 24 and 35 respectively. So for Ross and Banda, the difference between the numbers was 37. What is the sum of their numbers? Now, whenever they're talking about product, like for example, 35, what 2 digits will give me a product of 35, 5 into 7 or 7 into 5. So the numbers could be 75 or 57. Similarly, what could be the numbers that give me a 24? It could be a 6 into 4 or 3 into 8. So the possible numbers that I'm looking for is 64, 46, 38 or 83. Now they are saying the difference between the numbers is 37. So let's just subtract 37. I get a 20. So 20 is not here. So 20 is not my answer. Here you will get an 8. You'll get a 38. So 38 is here. So the two numbers that we are thinking is 75 and 38. Sum of them is 113. So the answer for question 14 is China. Let's move on to question 15. Anna read a book with 1,000 pages. How many digits were used to print the page numbers on the book? They're talking about how many digits were used. So let's just count. So how many one-digit numbers do I have? One-digit numbers into number of digits, okay, is equal to total. Now, how many one-digit numbers do I have from 1 to 9? I have 9 one-digit numbers. So the number of digits used is 9. How many two-digit numbers are there? So you do basically 99 minus 10. So you get 89. But in this case, you've not added 10. Like you've not, whenever we count, like whenever we subtract, we say 11, 12, 13 until 99. So we've not added 10. So I'll add 10. So there are 90 two-digit numbers. So the number of digits are 180. And then how many three-digit numbers do I have? So again, it is 999 minus 100, which is 899 plus 1. So I have 900 three-digit numbers. So the number of digits used are 2700. And then how many four-digit numbers? It's only one number, which is your 1,000. So you add up 4. So 3, 1 carry. Oh, sorry. 13, 1 carry. So 9 and then 8. So it is 2893. So the answer for this question is 2893, which is option E. Let's move on to the next question. Now, all these questions were for 3 marks. Now, as we move on, these are open-ended questions where you don't have the options given. So these are 5 marks each. Question 16. Sam filled some boxes with sweets. If you put 5 sweets in each box, he was left with 4 extra sweets. And if you put 6 sweets in each box, the last box would have only 2 sweets left. So there is a number that you divide by 5, you get 4 as the remainder. And the same number, if you divide by 6, you get 2 as the remainder. Now, any number that you divide by 5 will have 0 or 5 at one's place. Okay, if you add 4 to it, so it has to be a 4 or a 9. And now here 2 is the remainder, so you subtract 2. So basically, for a digit to be, so this could be the number which ends up with a 2 or a 7. Now, in a table for 6, you'll never get 7 at one's place, but you can get 2 at one's place. So the numbers are like, say, 6 into 12, 6 into 2 is 12, and you can do plus 2. So you get a 14. So 14 could be probably a number which you divide by 5, you'll get 4 as the remainder, and you divide by 6, you'll get 2 as the remainder. And this will work for all numbers wherein you have 2 at one's place. So 6 into 7 is 42 plus 2, which is 44. You can also do 6 into 12, which is 72, which is 74. So all these numbers, 14, 44, 74, again, or you can do 6 into 17, 6 into, 22, 27, 32. It'll work for all those numbers. But as per the solution key, they have given the number 44, but 14, 74, all these numbers are also correct. Like how many, the number of sweets Sam had, it could be 14, 44, 74, 104. Any of these options are possible. Then question number 17. When the product of 9, so basically there is a number, when the product of 9 and a number is divided by 4, whatever answer you get is then multiplied by 25, the result is 19800. Now, whenever you have an expression or an equation like this, you need to find this number. So we go in reverse operation. So here it is multiplied by 25. So I have to do 19800 divide by 25. So you will get 792. Now this is divide by 4. Some number divide by 4 is 792. So this number will be 792 times 4, which will be 3168. And now some number into 9 is 3168. So I'll do 3168 divide by 9. So I will get a 352. So the number that we started off would be 352. That's the answer. Let's move on to question 18. Now, what is the largest possible value of m in this number, which is 653 m2, that is divisible by 3? So what is the divisibility rule for 3? That the sum of the digits have to be divisible by 3. Now, the sum of the digits is 11 or 10, 16. Now, sum of the digits is 16. 16 is not divisible by 3. So what is the maximum value? So there is, how many digits can I put? So the maximum digit is 9. So if I do this, I get 25. Now 25 is also not divisible by 3. Then the next best option is 8. So you get 24. So 24 is divisible by 3. So what is the largest possible value? The largest possible value for m will be 8. So if you put 8, you will get 24. Similarly, if you do the smallest possible value, so the smallest possible value for m will be 2. In that case, the sum will become 18 and it will be divisible by 3. Question number 19. A 5-digit number. So you have a 5-digit number which is formed such that it satisfies the following conditions. It is a multiple of 3 and 5. The third digit is half of the first digit and 1 less than the second digit. The sum of the first 3 digits is 13. So the sum of the first 3 digits is 13 and the sum of the last 3 digits are 8. The fourth digit is the second largest number. Now, to start off with, when they're saying it's a multiple of 3 and 5, so whenever a number is a multiple of 5, it has to end up with a 0 or 5. That's my starting point. Then the first digit is half, the third digit is half of the first digit and 1 less than the second digit. So that means repetition of digits are not allowed here. And the first 3 digits add up to 13, sorry. So what digits can I add that give me a 13? Say 8 plus 4 plus 1. But there's another condition, or you could do a 6 plus 4 plus 3. So in that case, they're saying the third digit is half of the first digit, but this is not happening here. But it is happening in here, so which is 6, 4, 3. So in this case, it's adding up to 13. So the third digit is half of the first digit and 1 less than the second digit. So this condition is also getting met. And then they're saying the sum of the last 3 digits is 8. Now, if suppose I take this and I put this as 0, so this becomes 305. The sum of the digits is 8. But they're saying the fourth digit is the second largest digit. So this is not the second largest digit. So I have to put a 5 here. So then this becomes the second largest digit and this has to be a 0. So the number is 64350. And so this is my number and the sum of the digits will be 10 and 18. So the sum of the digits will be 18. That will be my answer. I hope you understand these questions. If there's any doubt, you can leave a comment. Then we do question 20. Find the sum of the numbers in the 12th group in the following sequence. So in the first group, you have 1, 4, 6. In the second group, you have this. In the third group, you have this. So first, second, third, you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and 11, and 12. So this will be 4, say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Here, if you see the differences by 2. So this will be a 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. Here the difference is by 4. So this will be 18, 22, 26, 30, 34, 38, 42, 46, and 50. So they're saying what will be the sum of the numbers. So sum of the numbers, we can just do it like this. So the sum of the numbers for the 12th group in the sequence will be 88. That will be my answer. Let's move on. Question 21. If 16 trees are planted on one side of the road, 2 cars are parked between any 2 trees, how many cars are there? So suppose this is tree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And there are 2 cars parked between any 2 trees. So 2, 2, 2, 2. So how many, what are the gaps in between? So there are 15 gaps and 2 cars for each of them. So there are 30 cars that has been parked between the trees. So total is 30. Now these are 6-point questions and each question is for 6 marks. Then question 22. 10 small ropes with the same length are knotted together to form a big rope of 81. If the knotted area is 1, how long is the rope? So basically there's an overlap, like there are 10 ropes and they're like tied up and each knot here is 1. Okay, uh, how long will be each rope? So if you say 10, so basically it'll be 9 into 9, which is 81, and each rope, so there are 10 ropes and there's an overlap of, there'll be like 9 overlaps. So you do, say 10 into 9, which is 90, and there's an overlap of 9. So each of the rope is 9 centimeter long. So there's an overlap of 9. Like this is 1, 1. So you need to subtract 9 from it. So my answer is 80. How long is each rope? Each rope is 9 centimeter long. Question number 23. Question number 23 is a very interesting question. The value of the digit at ones place of the following expression. So you need not calculate. We just need to know the value at ones place for this. And the value of ones place is this. And then we have to subtract. Now, if you notice here, all these are odd numbers. Okay, all these are odd numbers and there is a number 5. So if you multiply any number, odd number with a 5, it'll always end up with a 5. And these are all even numbers and anything into 0 will always be a 0 at one's place. So I don't need to do the whole calculation. 5 minus 0 is 5. So the digit at one's place for this particular expression will be a 5. So my answer is 5. Question 24. Among Jack, Jade, and James, one of them is a painter, the other is a lawyer. So you have a painter, a lawyer, and a firefighter. Now, Jack is older than the firefighter. So Jack is older than the firefighter means Jack is not a firefighter, while the lawyer is younger than James. So basically, the lawyer is younger than James. So that means James is not the lawyer. Okay, and Jade and lawyer are not of the same age. Okay, so Jade and lawyer are not of the same age. So basically, Jade is also not a lawyer. So who is a lawyer? He is a lawyer. And they're saying, let's then read it again. Okay, Jack is older than the firefighter, while the lawyer is younger than James. So basically, Jade is a firefighter. So the answer is 2 because Jade is the firefighter. So let's move on to the last question. Patrick scored 82 and 85 marks respectively in English and science. If the total marks of these papers were 100, how many marks should he score in mathematics so that the average marks in these 3 subjects becomes 81? So the formula for average is sum of all observations over number of observations. Okay, now I need the average to be 87. I have 82 and 85. And I don't know what are the marks for maths. And there are 3 subjects. So what I'll do is 87 into 3 and add it up. 167 plus x. So this is 21, 2 carry. So 261, 167 plus x. So basically, what will be the value of x? 261 minus 167. That is a 4. And this would be a 5. So 1. This will be a 15. So 94. So how much should they score in maths? He need to score 94 marks for the average to become 87. So that's about this paper. I hope you like this video. If there's any other question that you want me to solve or any other paper, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to my channel.